Well, we're talking about the Holy Grail in the Dayton Daily News today, or not, because the USA Today seemed to pick the story up. For some reason,
back in November,
we don't have people that really look at what goes on at Wright-Patterson because we want to shut our eyes and don't really know.
Is that why?
Well, that's what I think, but I've been watching Wright-Patterson since 1986 when I watched the
Hey, Greg, talk to them.
8A contractors and how they operated.
8A is a set-aside program.
We talked about that the other day.
We've talked about that before, but just for those of you who might not be up to date.
Right. Well, I'd had this. I looked at the military and what they do. You know, I love the military. However, we have a military beyond all militaries. Our budget for a military exceeds all other countries in the world combined. Do we get that?
Hey.
Does that really make sense?
Hey.
Like China and Russia together, plus every other country in the world cannot exceed what we spend on the military?
And we got
and what do we got?
A1 military.
And we got some guy injecting bombs into us, whatever. Because we have the worst FAA in the world. But the story, long story.
FAA, TSA.
Yeah, they can't get
Homeland Security.
They couldn't get a database right because they won't share one rice bowl with the other, which is a lot about the military too.
Yeah, the military had that problem. We can go back to Desert One, where the Marines couldn't talk to the Air Force, couldn't talk to the Army.
There
are still problems in her.
I guarantee you, what you can do with the military is you can make it a purple suit operation. Purple suit means they're all combined. But one group would say, "Oh, painting a tank is much different than painting a plane." BS. Bull crap.
Other militaries have done it quite effectively.
Oh, but nobody can beat us. Of course, we spend the most money, so what the heck can you say? But the other part about it is most people, as they get into these things, will look at it and say, if you really want to solve a lot of these problems, you know, the recycling of people back in, and they will say, oh, we need these people. But to prevent anyone, once they retire from the military, from ever taking a contract job. And they would say, oh, we lose all this expertise.
Well, then don't have them retire.
Oh, no. That's right. If you really need them, that's right.
If you really need them, you don't let them retire.
And we are providing for the common defense, you know, like the common good and the common defense.
And it is public service.
Public service.
Believe it or not, yeah, you be a general, you're doing public service.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to, you know, protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So the
when are we going to have a coup? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the domestic ones are causing us a lot of problems because we're out there building things we don't really need on the advice of these generals who are lining their pockets. Somehow, I'm a little confused about how a guy who rises up in the ranks from, you know, a second lieutenant to a 4 or 5-star general ends up retiring and becoming a multimillionaire. Because, trust me, we don't pay generals CEO pay.
Well, yeah, we do actually, kind of these days.
It's a couple $100,000 a year tops.
Well, they because they're intelligent and they have patents and they, you know, or maybe they issue a contract to like SAIC like 2 years before they go out and they roll over that. But, you know, our vaunted Dayton Daily News or anybody in the world doesn't go investigate these things. For some reason, the USA Today seems to...
you know, these guys all do have guns and access to nukes.
And they have access to databases and they have access to people so they can shut you up. And they got UAVs now. Yeah. They can fly around the neighborhood and get us, David.
There we go. We got to look out for that. But no, it's really pretty amazing to me that when a general retires, other than run for president, Eisenhower being the last one.
No, that crazy other one, you know, that won the Yugoslav war.
Oh, he ran for president too, but he didn't win.
No,
Wesley Clark? Yeah. I wouldn't call him crazy. I like Wesley Clark.
Oh, he's okay.
He's all right. He's better than some of the rest.
His hair was too perfect. That always bothers me. People with that hair buttoned down, they got some sort of...
You really didn't like John Edwards, did you?
Well, case in point.
Anyway,
there we go.
Now we know why we didn't like him.
Exactly.
Because somebody finally did their job. But no.
Turner's got his hair pretty much buttoned down, too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So.
Stepford wife.
So, the reality is gotta wonder, you know, we've seen a lot of coverage for like GM through the years in the Dayton Daily News. We've seen coverage for NCR. We've seen coverage for Imes, Reynolds and Reynolds. But there's very little real coverage of what goes on at the base. You know, if you picked up the Dayton Daily News, you wouldn't get the inside scoop. You wouldn't know who's doing what new things are going on. And I find that kind of odd.
Yeah, well, I do find it odd, and I find it odd that Congress doesn't look to its job as really what Congress should be, in my estimation, is there's plenty of laws. We have 535 people that are supposed to ensure that that money is spent effectively, i.e., Congress people are supposed to ensure that that money coming out to Wright-Patterson is spent effectively. I didn't pound. Is spent effectively. So, but when you elect a lawyer, most of them are.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You won't get anybody that understands how the stuff was even done. And it doesn't matter because the money flows back to him because what? He makes sure that
the money comes back to them. Campaign finance reform, the whole thing is a mess. So
Right.
until you fix campaign finance reform, we're screwed anyways. But
It's the same way with the generals too.
The thing with the contracting's just got to stop.
They don't care if it's a quality product. They just care if it's multi-millions that goes back into a company that they're going to eventually work for. Double dipping is the name of the game.
Absolutely.
You need to get rid of that double dipping.
Absolutely.
I don't see where the groupthink that they were in before, still you turn it from 20-year groupthink to 40-year groupthink, and they double dip on the deal.
Absolutely. All right.